Welcome back. On RealCopStoriesVideos.com, we have over 50 questions and answers you can ask me. Oh, I'm sorry, back up. On RealCopStoriesVideos.com, we have 355 stories. I'm sorry, get a little goofy here. Vice Narcotics Patrol, look them up. They're all my babies. I love them all. Back to the other one. We're doing questions and answers now. If you want to send me a question, email me at rsbcopstories@gmail.com. We're over 400 of these suckers. I'm getting a little weird here. So anyway, here's one of the questions.
Were you ever injured on the job?
Okay, yeah, okay. And most officers, I shouldn't say most officers that work in the field are going to get hurt, okay? If you watch cops, it's all kind of sterile. You know, once in a while I see a cop get blood on his hand or he's struggling like on the floor. Let me tell you, man, if I worked in the streets I worked basically for 14 years before I became a detective. And in those 14 years, I worked vice, patrol, gangs, you know, I worked all the streets. Now, I wasn't no inside guy and I wasn't the supervisor. Any officer's worth his salt when he goes in foot pursuits, usually when you tackle the guy, you get hurt. Okay, you jump a fence, you get hurt. I mean, I'm talking about small things, bruises, but jump out of a car, it's raining, you fall, okay? Bruised knees, you know, around a corner, you bounce off a building, you know, and there's always, I mean, if you go into kind of aggressive police work, you're going to get hurt. And I'm talking about not badly hurt, but you're going to get bruises and bumps, okay? But let me tell you, I have four injuries. I'll start with the first one. You think when, you know, you break something, you would think, wow, you know, what did he get it with? You know, was he climbing up ladders? Was he running down gullies? Was he chasing crooks down alleys? Well, sometimes it isn't that glorious, okay? Now, in the old days meaning the 70s, we had cars where the windows, we didn't have electric windows on our police cars. We had plain cars, and they had crank windows. And also, they had frames around the windows. Now, you guys nowadays, maybe some of the cars, I guess trucks and stuff have them. Now, most of the cars' windows go up into when you roll the window down, it's just window, okay? But in the old days, the cars had frames around the windows, and the window would go up into a metal frame. The right part of the door, you know, young kids don't know what that, but here's where you put your arm, and you have a frame that goes up over, and there's the window, and it goes up into a trough, okay? So that's what we drove. And so we're working plain clothes, and we're working, we call a hype sweep. We're looking for heroin addicts that are breaking into houses. And we do this by plain clothes, and we go up and down alleys. We have a lot of alleys, and that's where it's almost like a freeway of narco users, because they don't go on the streets, they no cops on the streets. Patrol cars patrol the streets, so they go in the alleys and walkways. And that's where we went, because that's where the bad guys are at. And we come on an alley and surprise people and boo, you know, and we're looking for heroin users, because the heroin users, we call them hypes, are the ones that break in. They break in and steal your stereo and sell it for $5 or sell it for 2 balloons. You know, break into your car. Or on SC, they break into the college kids leave their cars open. They reach in and get a purse, and they just want money. They don't want your ID. Most of the time, they just want money, because they want people to convert what they get to heroin. In those days, a balloon of heroin was $12, $15. So, you know, they steal a radio, Walkman. They'll get a balloon for it. You know, and here you paid $60, $150 for it. It's gone. You know, so that's what we're looking for. So this day, we're looking for heroin addicts. And I'm working with a partner, big guy. He's driving on the passenger. So we come around a corner, and we see, going down an alley, and we look over, and we see a guy, just like TV, we see a guy coming out of a window with a stereo. Okay? He's back in his body, his butt's out the window, his glass on the ground. Pretty good chance he's a burglar. Okay? We see that, stops the car. We don't say police till after the last minute. We're in plain clothes. So my partner bails out, and I bail out. And as I come out, I'm in a hurry. I don't want to come out in a hurry. My hand right here hits the frame on the door on the way out. I mean hard. I'm a big guy. I'm going to come out, and I slam it. Of course, then you go, oh, you know, and you're running. And the guy sees us and drops the stereo, and he runs. Okay, now we're in a foot pursuit. And so not very far, maybe a block, but partner's ahead of me. I'm doing this. I'm running. He tackles him. I'm on him. I reach down to grab his private parts. My partner's trying to cuff him, and I reach down and I grab my left hand. Oh, you know, I mean, it's like somebody stuck a needle in me. You know, and I got the right hand, and I'm grabbing him, and he's supposed to. My partner says, "Cuff him." I go, "I can't." And he what? So he gets off where he was at, and I had one arm. I couldn't get the other one, and we cuffed him. He goes, "What's wrong?" I said, "I don't know." And I look down, and here I got my hand here, and I broke the fifth metacarpal behind the knuckle, and here's my hand. You see the camera, and it's like this. Okay. Looks like cut a golf ball in half and put it right here. That's what it looked like. Okay. And I'm going, oh, that's not good. Oh, and man, it hurt because now my adrenaline's starting to come down, right? I go, oh no! And he goes, oh man, did you hit him or anything? I said, no, I got it on the door frame. He goes, what? Because he was looking at me like, what an idiot. He goes, so he goes, okay. So we go to the house. Nobody's home. So we call neighbors. They come over. We ask the neighbors, and one really nice neighbor comes over and he says, hey, could you secure the window? And here's our identification. And when they come home, could you meet us at the station? Because we found a bunch of stuff in his pockets, like coins, and jewelry. He had stuffed his pockets, and the last thing he was doing was coming out the window with a stereo. Of course, we got that. And so we got him in the car. And of course, we have to call, whenever an officer's injured, you have to call for a supervisor. And later on, I'll tell stories about, I get called when I'm a supervisor. And the worst thing for a supervisor, I supervised up to 15 guys one time, men and women, is you're fearful every day when your guys go out that they're going to get hurt. And we did 470 some search warrants when I was there every day in South Los Angeles, in Watts. Nobody got hurt. Every search warrant we did, guys are lined up, and I'm last in line because that's the way the policy is. And they're getting off a track here, and we're heading into the house. Doors are being smashed open, windows are being broken. My guys are going in there here, police, police, police. People running. Sometimes if you have a woman, they scream. Why they scream? I have no idea. Okay, we're not doing anything to them. And the whole time that we race into that door, and as soon as they enter the door, I'm last in line, and I'm worried about, I got gray hairs, about hearing that first shot. Okay, because that's not just some mundane person I don't know. It's one of my guys. Okay, male or female. It's one of my subordinates, one of my detectives, and also it's a human being. It's a police officer. So that's always a worry. So call my supervisor. I got back on track. So I call my supervisor, and I'm hurt. So okay, fine. So he said, we get to the station. Are you critical? You need an ambulance? I said, no. So when now we get to the station, now it's really, now the whole hand's all, can't even see my knuckles anymore. It's all, He goes, what happened to you? And usually, again, they think, what, did you fight the guy? I said, I could have lied. I said, yeah, I heroically tackled him, and I pulled a James Bond. I pulled a T.J. Hooker. I slid across the hood of the car, and hung on. And then, no. This is just, he goes, so I told him, he goes, really? He's mocking me, right? A really nice guy. And so young sergeant, so he goes, okay. He goes, well, can you drive? I said, I can do everything. It just hurts. I'm going to get out of here. So go to the hospital. So I go to the hospital. Of course, everybody I spoke to about the injury thought I was a weenie, okay? Really? Because they expect officers do it, fighting for your rights and fighting for suspects. And no. So they x-rayed it and kind of pushed it back together and put a soft cast on it. And I worked the desk, which was a fun thing to do for about 6 weeks, which I wanted to blow my brains out because I'm a young 2.5-year policeman out there wanting to earn my keep and serve you guys. And I'm in there at the desk with a half-broken hand and a cast in my hand, basically just being an office person. I hated it. Paperwork. One thing it did cure me, though, of not wanting to work inside ever, because I didn't like it. It was interesting. I'm working with a guy that just got in the shooting, because when you get in the shooting, you have to pull out of the field for a while the shooting is investigated. So he's in there. We had a lady in there that was the first police. She was a police woman, but police women in those days, this is in the 70s, weren't certified to work the field until they became police officers. Later on, they were reclassified, had to go through the academy. These police women didn't go through a regular academy, went through like an administrative academy, basically classes, but no shooting, no physical fitness or anything. So you can see the range of ladies that weren't really in shape became police women. I'm not saying that they were horrible, but they're not really certified. And like the mid to late 70s is when they started allowing police women to go to the academy on a regular basis. And then they changed the badges that I wore from policeman to police officer, and that allowed the women to work the field because they've been certified because they're working to run it and doing everything that guys do. That's the difference of the two. So she's in there. So there's 3 of us at a really small desk, answering phone calls and talking to the public and taking food runs for the sergeants. And I just hated it. But you got to do it. So it's just, it was an accident, but it was nice, because from that assignment I was picked to work another one, and I'll talk about that later, how I got to this new assignment. But basically that's how I got hurt. Hit my hand on a door frame, and nothing spectacular. I was off, and then but it hurt. Oh, man, it really hurt. Oof. And they just kind of said, oh, we'll just put it back in place. And, of course, they shot the He shot me full of drugs. I didn't feel that, but I'm watching. I'm awake, and he's over here doing this. Oh yeah, I can feel it, and he's lining it up, and I think about it now. It's like, ugh. It's like kind of you pop your thumb or your shoulder where people do that. Nice you can pop it in, but man, I don't want to see it, man. It was pretty bad. But hey, I didn't get shot or anything. So what the heck? I guess I'm happy about that. So it was pretty good. Unfortunately, after that happened, I got reassigned. I had a really good partner I worked with for a couple of years, actually 1 year solid. And then he's a lot of my stories on RealCopStoriesVideos.com. A lot of episodes with him. And unfortunately, when I broke my hand, time doesn't stand still. I'm reassigned to the desk, and he's off. And then we never got back together because we were both went different ways not by our choice. We were just put in different positions. So there's one of my injuries, and I'll talk about the next one in a minute. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be right back. Okay? All right. Thanks. Bye.